What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Special Edition. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So, a massive shout out to Abraham Muhammad, Adrian Quintana, Alistair Main, Billy Highvolt, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As The Earth, Chow Young Cat, Dank, Dave Rakia Gaffer, David Wayne Foster, Edwin Johnson, Erwin Jennisons, Felix Hung, Fireball X, God Rockin, Henrik86, Jeranism, Joshua Balsimo, Kirsten Smith, Liam Nedrick, Life Is Short, Matt, Missouri Bear, Nagara, Naibai, Qatar Craig, Reinhardt, Rene, Sally Ballis, Silver Umbrella, Skeptic936, The Flat Earth Sun, Moon and Zodiac Clock App, theflatearthchannel.com, Tina Baker and Tom Hawkins. So a massive shout out of appreciation to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now we are joined by a fair few people in both Discord and G+, so I'll raise the mic on them and you can enjoy their dulcet tones.
For the wrath of God to be exercised on him for the forgiveness of sins for all mankind. And that's why the love of God...
Did he just close out the show right on me?
He really did. He did.
Unbelievable.
No, but I'm not even saying that it is a regress fallacy. I'm merely asking
what just happened?
if it's fair to say
conversations here.
You know,
it's hard to hear you, Elijah. You got so many people talking.
Yeah, I think
man was having like a 10-minute explanation over here. Didn't you hear anything of it?
Wait, did Nathan round out?
No.
Yeah,
just as you were.
Ah, right.
As you were. I was right in the middle of the statement.
so was 10th man. We were having two different conversations.
Lost entirely to an outro and intro.
Guys, are we still recording?
Yes.
Mitchell from Australia.
Yeah, now we're all lost. I don't know what's
He's done a gas pressure without a container video. Could do with a bit of support. Just nip over to his channel and say good video or something.
You have to name the videographer again.
I gave him a shout out.
I know.
On the live show.
But I think it would inspire him and motivate him to do more work if he got some comments from, like, because he obviously watches the show based on his terminology.
Oh, definitely.
Hold on a second, Chocolate. What's the name of the videographer?
Mitchell from Australia.
All right.
And he's made a video on
gas pressure without a container.
No, gravity is not a force.
Oh yeah, gravity is not a force.
Yes. Oh, I actually posted it in Master B. Yeah. So if you want to link it,
it's worth just going over there and just saying hi, just checking in so that he realizes and gets a bit of appreciation.
Can anyone post it in Discord?
Yeah, give me a minute or two.
Wonderful.
And then you got people in Discord. Cosmonauty. Is that Cosmonaut? Oh, sorry, Cosmonaut with an exclamation point. Any proof of this creator? I mean, I don't know. Do you put your fingers in your ears and shut your eyes and say la 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 over and over again and then ask the question? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, he's one of those gravity deniers. He won't accept the gravity doesn't exist and it's not a force anymore.
Why do you do that? I mean, how long have you been in this flat earth debate? He's been here for a while, I think. I don't know. Just people. Oh, it's so frustrating listening to these retards.
Oh, talking about retards, John, did you watch Karen B's stream yesterday between David White and Antonio Cumia?
No, I didn't know. That was pretty funny.
You gotta watch that. It was
I didn't.
It was kind of like
it.
a mini debate. Very, very
Between
complex.
who?
It was very awesome and highly frustrating because they were like ultimate basic ballers. And
Oh, so they were just deny.
Yeah, hour long with like the dumbest things you could imagine.
Who are you talking about?
Hold on.
Antonio Cumia.
Anthony,
I don't know who that is.
You're getting rumpus.
Beast.
No one's getting to hear anything because you're all talking over each other. So Chocolate's asked twice. Just let Arwin actually summarise the show so people know what the hell's being talked about. Go ahead, Arwin.
Right. Yeah, that's not helping. But David Weiss was on and Anthony Cumia, whatever, his show with his two stooges. And Karen B live streamed that on her channel on YouTube. It's about an hour long yesterday evening, and it was very intense. It was very much like the debates, and David Weiss was just like up against like such dumbasses, very basic ballers, and it just kept on going and going and going. Kind of, they even rumpused him at times. It was interesting, worth a while watching.
David Weiss did exceptionally well because he quickly cottoned on that they were just going to talk past everything he said. So he had to be on high alert to listen to what they said so he could respond, but also appreciate that most of what he was said is just being in one ear out the other. So about a third of the way through, he sort of changed his tack slightly and started just expressing what he needed to express to reach the audience, and then listening to the reply, which would have nothing to do with the statement he'd just made, and then addressing the reply, getting his next point in for the audience, again realising that it's going to be completely ignored, and they're just going to rattle off the next bit of word salad. So a few people in the chat were like, oh, I really wish you were debating them. And I'm like, no. Dirth's a dab hand at this. He knows what he's doing. He's recognised that he's got an opportunity to just communicate with their audience, certain key words, key points, and stay on track and keep cool, which he did. The only point he got flustered on, oh, sorry Dave if you're watching this, was the bit when he got to the models and he started justifying flight times with, jet streams because he's got a model, and I felt bad for him. I'm like, this is his Achilles heel. I even said it in the chat because he's into defending a model, and they're in the perfect straw man argument to have that kind of argument with him, and that was the only point that they were kind of on level ground with him rather than just talking past each other because his points were devastating. But then you get to that sort of point and suddenly they're into an actual row about it because they've got hold of a straw man he's holding up for them to burn, which was a shame. But that lasted 60 seconds before they word saladed the crap out of him and moved on to the next point. So it didn't really matter.
Hey, you need to recuse yourself from your opinion on this matter, Nathan. That's first. I know. Second, does anyone have a link to that video?
Yeah, he's the boss. I know.
I do.
Can you get somebody to post it in Discord, please?
Okay. Discord? No, I'm not doing that.
Or Master Bees, that would work.
All right, I'll do that. There you go.
Technical question: why I cannot speak on Discord? On the
I
live
thought
show?
I already answered this for you.
You told me to go and ask somebody else.
Yeah, that's right. Because you're new to Discord, correct?
Yeah.
Yes?
But I cannot find this guy.
Are you new to Discord? Yes or no?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, that's why I gave you the PM address, because sometimes when you first enter Discord, there's some sound issues.
Uh-huh.
Or to give you a slight analogy, negotiating Discord is a bit like the game Legend of Zelda. So first you must find the magic pixie to give you the ability of sound.
Okay.
That'll be Rumpus. Once you find Rumpus, you're fine.
Invisible green.
If you're there for long enough,
pixies.
If you're there for long enough, they might give you the magic wand of moderation.
Oh, wow.
It took me a year to get it.
Did you get the wand? Did you find it in the cave?
Wasn't it behind that wall? Is it right?
I don't know. I imagine there was many battles with many trolls on that quest to find that wand.
I had help. Righteous helped me. He showed me the way.
He's like Jesus there, huh?
No, he's like a good wizard on the quest of Zelda that is Discord. No, these old
This
Nintendo...
is exciting, boy.
I'm going to say, these old
This
Nintendo
is really
references
exciting.
aren't-
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I love when you guys rumpus each other.
Yeah, and
And then blame
then
chocolate.
take your time to complain about it afterwards, making it even longer. It's always brilliant when you do that.
It's best when everyone starts rumpusing each other and then chocolate gets the blame.
We should all just get
No, yesterday was the best when Nathan was talking and Anthony says, "Shut up!"
Oh, that was Sean Hawkins.
Oh, Sean Hawkins is hilarious.
Hey!
Hey! Hey!
I'd also like to make a shout out.
I think everybody had forgotten about
was
that clip.
the funniest part. That wasn't the funniest part. The funniest part of that was friggin' Anthony and Ranty laughing. That was the funniest part.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Sean
was.
Hawkins is such a doof.
Yeah, one or both of you hadn't seen that
you
clip
were
before.
joking, Tony. It was great.
One or both of you hadn't seen the clip, right? Because you could tell it was like an initial reaction. Was it you or Ranty that hadn't seen it before?
I
I'd
think
seen
Ranty.
I'd seen
Ranty
it.
said he didn't see it before.
I had seen it before, but it was a
So
long
I
time
would
ago.
like to shout
Oh
out this
my
Instagram
God!
account
When someone's
by the
talking,
name of
my God!
what?
I've asked Anthony a question. He's got rumpused. Tried pausing to know there's dead air. Let his answer come again, and then someone else has rumpused him. Can't you hear that he's talking?
I think there might be a ping delay between Discord and Skype, Nathan.
No, there is not a ping delay between Skype. Almost every morning, Righteous Force comes in, says hello to me, and what he does is he typically leaves his mic open in both Discord and G+, and I hear 1/10 of 1 millisecond delay between the two. I know there's no delay.
Isn't 1/10 of 1 millisecond a delay by definition?
Yeah.
Piss off.
Hey, you're ace on a
I know,
scale
I am.
of 10, 1.2.
Vic Reeves.
Did you get that, Nathan?
Yes, I did. I was going to say Vic Reeves quote. 64.2% of all statistics
No,
are made up
he's-
on the
he's
spot.
quoting your
Oh,
comment.
Of course, it's going to ruin my
quoting
joke.
your
Of
comment in chat
course.
the other day.
Why would I even attempt to joke?
Huh?
Tell him to shut up, Anthony.
Shut up!
Are we doing a live show?
No, we're doing a special edition that's going to go out sometime over Christmas.
Like soon?
Yeah, well, Christmas is soon.
No, I mean, the recording started soon.
Are we recording now?
Hey, do you want everyone in the after show or keep them here?
Now, keep them in the live show. We'll treat this as though it's a live show. Treat this like it's a live show because there will be an after show as well. So that's why everyone is still in live stream in Discord.
So
Okay, I'll just wait till I start talking again, and then you'll close out the show right in the middle, and I'll just move everyone to the after show.
Perfect.
So it isn't a live show, but we can think of it as a live show.
Exactly. It's as live. If you were in the biz, you'd call it as live. In other words, what's presented to the audience at the end doesn't involve any editing out of anything. It's as it's happened. Do you see what I mean? As live.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the lion in The Lion Witch in the Wardrobe? As live.
That's like,
As Lan.
Oh.
Mufasa was better, but he's dead now.
Aslan scared me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Scar was cool too.
Mufasa.
Did you say Aslan scared you?
Yeah, because he used to go dead slow and dead majestic, and it was like, holy fuck, he's the king.
Do you know one of my favorite scenes in the book? I think the old English version video did the scene, but it's when the children were in the Beaver's house and they were talking about Aslan. And of course, Lily decides to say something. But hold that thought. Let me get her some chocolate milk, and I'll finish my thought.
Yeah, Lily does that thing to Paul, which is like all kids do, which is like the minute Paul starts talking, Lily seems to like need attention always. Paul can't ever talk.
Got the place to myself. No kids at all, no wife. It's great. No one to shout at. Again?
Paul, do you have some more chocolate milk?
You can think of it as though he's got chocolate milk.
He's giving some to Lily.
Lily and John have two things in common. They both love chocolate milk.
What is chocolate milk? Is it right? Do you mean
in it.
Cocoa Pops? Is that what you mean?
Milk with chocolate
in
it.
You just put chocolate in milk. You can get chocolate syrup and stir it up, and you got chocolate milk. Mostly what Lily drinks is almond milk, almond chocolate milk, basically.
No, please don't put chocolate in milk. He's fine here.
Let me finish my story to Anthony, since I got a moment. But there's a scene in the book where the beavers are describing Aslan to the children, and I think one of the children says, "Oh, I would be very much scared of a lion," and one of the beavers says, "Yeah, he's scary, but he's good." Always keep that in the back of your mind. And you know who Aslan is an allegory for, right?
No, God, I'm guessing.
Jesus. He's an allegory for Jesus.
You're kidding me, God. He gets sacrificed on an altar and then comes back to life 3 days later.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to have to rewatch it now you've said all this.
Rewatch it. It's a book.
It's going to be one of those programs that with adult eyes on it, you see it in a totally different way.
Well, it's funny too if you read the whole book. It's like the last battle. C.S. Lewis is marvelous in his allegory. You know what is the undermining of Narnia in of when Narnia is destroyed in the last battle? It's a monkey that fakes like Aslan's existence, and I think because evolution was on its heyday in C.S. Lewis's time. And I think he used the monkey as the undermining of Narnia, saying that atheism, evolutionary theory, would undermine Christianity and undermine and destroy society. I think that's what he was alluding to.
So you're saying there's a political angle to it?
It's what now?
You're saying that there's a political angle to it?
No.
Well, I think C.S. Lewis just put layers of meaning in his allegories.
That's ace.
Yeah, and it's throughout all his books. It's all the Chronicles of Narnia. If you look at it through adult eyes, and you try to just think about what he's trying to say, and it's all allegory. Like he uses greed. He illustrates it as a dragon in Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and how it destroys. And he uses this one character. His name in the book is called Eustace. And he's actually useless, and he plays off his name because pretty much the whole book he's useless. He doesn't really do anything, but he has greed, and he becomes a dragon. It's pretty crazy. He's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it through adult eyes.
Don't watch it. Don't watch the new stuff. They've messed it up. Watch the old English versions, or get the audiobooks.
Do you mean the one where was it from the 70s? Is that the one that you're referring to?
Yes, where they're puppets, where Aslan is actually a mechanical puppet, I think.
Yeah, and that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's a good one. I watched those a long time ago. They're kind of condensed, so there's stuff that's left out, but they keep a lot of the substance in them still. So
yeah,
there's a lot of allegory in his books.
If it's not obvious, he's very good and honest and all the rest of the stuff. Aslan sacrifices himself for the very terrible, naughty humans who've done plenty wrong, and then comes back to life 3 days later. I mean, if it wasn't obvious.
Yeah, but last time I saw that, Nathan, I was about 8.
Well, and Edmund is who he dies for. He was the one that was the traitor.
Ah, right. So it's like Judas.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, it's like
he completely sells out his family for what was it he gets for it? Is it like Turkish delight and hot chocolate or something?
Yeah, Turkish delight. Yeah, he sells it out for a little bit of food. Sells his family out.
Sells out his entire family.
That's done the same way in the Matrix when Cypher sells them for a steak, like when he speaks to the agent.
Well, yeah, similar allegory, isn't it? The one.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't think the
and he's the one.
Yeah.
What's that?
The one in Neo is just an anagram, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But I don't think the sisters were trying to be Christian in their making of the movie, though. I think C.S. Lewis was, though. C.S. Lewis was doing that.
I see what you're saying.
Ironically, I'm watching those. Ironically, I'm watching the Matrixes. I'm on Revolutions.
Nice. Best movie ever made.
I was going to say my favourite movie of all time, The Matrix, the first one. Not necessarily the second two, although I do like them.
Yeah, the first one was really good. Yeah, watched that the other night.
I've never got into The Matrix. I need to get into it.
What?
Yeah, I've never watched it.
The second one, bro. The second one's full of philosophy. The second one's full of philosophy from the architect, and I think for a lot of kids that would watch that movie, it would be way over their head. Whereas as you get older, you probably appreciate more of what the architect is actually saying. It just seems like techno babble when you hear it as a kid, though.
Yeah, because I hear it now, and when I hear him describe how the Matrix is a harmony of mathematical precision, that sounds to me like the globe.
It's time.
It's just crap. It's just mathematics. That's it. And then there's the Merovingian, who was another character I love too. All talking about causality and all that. Like, great movie, man.
Cause and effect relationship.
Yeah, same applies. Same applies. The Merovingi is also deeply philosophical in his approach and very telling in some of the things he says in relation to the models that we are, have foisted upon us. How would you, the guys on the G Plus panel and QE and anybody else for that matter, feel about watching those 3 films over the Christmas period and then doing a group show on it?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm down.
I'm probably the person who has watched The Matrix the most times in the world, and I have watched over 200 hours of analysis on the movie, and I have watched it since it came out almost every year, like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I can top that easy. So The Matrix at the time was an audio and visual spectacular, and I worked in a hi-fi shop when it came out, so it's a 1999 movie, and I got hold of the Laserdisc and all the other formats that we could to make it look as nice as possible on a massive projection screen with surround sound. But we used to have it playing continually, all day, every day that I went into work. So we'd literally sit and watch the movie till it got to the end and then press play again. So that when someone came in, they were like, wow! And if they wanted a demo, you just flicked it straight onto the scene where they're in the, between the pillars when he does all the cartwheels.
And let's just mention that the special effects on the first Matrix were made by a Bulgarian guy.
But Bullet Time?
Yeah.
Did you guys know that this script was supposedly stolen by the Wachowski brothers? And that the movie, quote unquote, doesn't seem to make sense as a trilogy only because it had different plans, which the guy thoroughly explains in YouTube, but I forget what his name is.
Dig it out. Dig it out.
Wasn't it based?
Hold on, just 1 second, Chocolate. Just dig it out, Elijah, rather than leaving it hanging. If you can, just see if you can find it with a few key search words.
Most definitely.
Thanks.
And aren't they making another one?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I think they are.
Well, he also explains that they made that cartoon Animatrix, I think it was, and something else, and it was supposed to continue, but again, he says they couldn't continue, and he explains how in the movie there's a lot of different aspects that basically, you know how we say, oh, they throw the globe in movies to basically smack us in the face. That's what he claims happens in the movie, and he claims he's been going to court for years, and he has these documents. It's real interesting. I'm gonna go find them now because I think I have it in one of my playlists.
Excellent. Yeah, if you can tell us which one, it would be great. But apparently the new one's set to come out at the same time as a new Wick movie. So I get that from I didn't actually watch the video, I just saw it on my list of videos this morning in YouTube, but there was a thumbnail that was alluding to the release schedule being the same, so that you're going to have two movies with the same lead character out at the same time.
Well, didn't the brothers base that movie on what was it? Simulacra and simulation?
And the author of Simulacra and Simulation didn't like it.
It's not just that though. There's many other things.
See, the funny thing about it is the guy who claims to have written the script actually says it's more biblical than anything. It's not about simulation or any of that. I gotta find this, man.
You've only got to watch things like Ghost in a Shell, which got very, very similar plot, another anime. But there's all sorts of films that it's ripping off. There's a whole ton.
It's influenced by a lot of things that the Wachowski were doing in their early days, and a lot of comic books as well. It's the same way as when James Cameron made Avatar. There was a cartoon when I was very young. It was called Ferngully, and actually Avatar is a ripoff of Ferngully. Many things incorporated in one thing.
Are we all definitely up for this then? Watching, because it's a bit of an extravaganza over the Christmas period, but if we can squeeze in maybe, a few hours each getting those movies watched so they're fresh in your mind.
Yeah, which I know all the words.
Well, there's 4, but you don't have to watch mainly the 3. So there's part 1 is The Matrix, part 1.5 is Animatrix. It's an anime. Then there's the second one, which is Reloaded, and then there's Revolutions, which is part 3 of the movies. But there's 4 in the series currently.
Yeah,
Which ones are you asking us to watch?
1, 2, and 3 of the feature-length actual Hollywood movies. So The Matrix,
Not
The Matrix
the anime.
Reloaded. Who's talking? The Matrix, Anthony's sake. I'll try again to actually clarify what I'm hoping people will do. Let's hope I get interrupted 6 more times. The Matrix Reloaded, and The Matrix Revolutions. So the 3 current Hollywood releases.
So you don't mean the anime, then we can dispense with that one.
I would say so, yeah.
Cool.
Honestly, I would say watch it anyway, because one of the stories, it gives you like an animated version of how the Matrix came to be in the movie. So it's actually pretty good if you want like a pre-story of the Matrix story. I think it's the first animation, because some of them are a little weird, but they're all cool to me because I love anime, obviously. But yeah, one of those stories is pretty good. The origin of how the Matrix in the movie came to be. So I would say throw that in there too, but we don't have to. But yeah, I'm down. I love the Matrix.
It does also give some background info on the characters that come in the Reloaded movie. So there's various different subplots that they introduce you to, that if you just watch the second movie without watching Animatrix, suddenly there's all these new characters that haven't really been given much backstory because it's all in Animatrix. So, but I don't think it matters that much. The subplots and how the Matrix get created. There's also a lot of crap in Animatrix.
Yeah.
If I can add one more thing, if you play the game, The Matrix, which came out 2000 something, there's actually scenes from the movie that were shot only and specifically to be inside the game. So if you play the game, you go through scenes that are actually part of the movies, but you can only see them in the game.
Yeah, this is why I was like, to the Animatrix. you can go on forever. You can be like, well, no, you've got to go out and play the N64 version of 2 because, you know, that's got a separate subplot also, and then you don't know how the Nebuchadnezzar got its extra drive warps, you know. No, fuck that. Let's just watch the movies.
Yeah. No, I'm just going on about facts because I'm a Matrix junkie, as by my nickname suggests.
I'm hoping this what we're recording now will come out, and then maybe a week later, you know, Christmas and New Year will be out of the way, and then we can do a special edition that's not even flat Earth or in any way related to the typical subject, just a dissection of the Matrix. And obviously we're going to talk about some of those subjects along the way, but it won't be specifically to hone in on the flat Earth related nature of the Matrix, because there isn't a great deal in there.
Yeah.
Nah, but there's so much else in there that we could spend hours on it. Like, I'd love to get into the Agent Smith aspect of it. The like I said before, the Merovingian with causality, the architect, what he's talking about with choice and all that. Like, I don't know. This movie is so chock full of stuff. It's insane.
And let's not forget that it's probably one of the most influential movies of all time.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It was honestly the first movie that ever made me think, wow, could there be something wrong with the world that I'm living in? Because it made me feel like that. It made me stop and think like, you know, there are times I have thought like there is something wrong with the world that I'm in. Little did I know, you know, years later, I'd be a flat earther. So that's great.
Hey, Chocolate, do you hear that?
Guys, I'm so upset.
No.
Chocolate, did you hear that?
No.
I heard him say he's so upset.
You didn't hear that?
No, I didn't hear it. I only heard Elijah saying something real quick. That's it.
That's the sound of inevitability.
I should have known that. I should have known. That's the sound of inevitability. I love Agent Smith.
Yeah, he's got some great scenes.
So you know, so you know how things are different when you Google them and YouTube them. So I'm looking for this original guy that took literally like an hour in like 2 videos. It's like 2 broken up videos of like it might be 2 hours, 1 hour long videos. And he goes into full detail about how the way they stole it from him taking the narrative and locking him up in court was the fact that the bank owns the bank owns the what do you call it in Hollywood, the
Copyright.
They called the word. I'm sorry, I can't even remember, but I know for a fact that I saw this video and I can't find it now. And the thing that's weird is that the story that I find, no matter how many ways I search it, is about this Sophia Stewart chick. And it's not even about the original script or the original purpose, which might throw off what your takeaway, Chocolate, from what the original writer, if he's telling the truth, was trying to put in this story, because he's saying it's flipped on its head. And like, I can't find him anywhere, but no matter how many ways I search, this one seemingly planted story is just right there about how the Terminator and all of these other movies are actually the movie in one. That doesn't even address the fact that the script was stolen.
Interesting.
Yeah, it just sounds like they buried it, you know. They're saying you've tried to find it, and based on the cursory search, you're going to say that it's too difficult to find, therefore buried. Is that what you're alluding to?
Yeah, it is what it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to probably spend the next week looking through all of my watch later videos. I got like 800, and I'm just going to comb through it because I know it's there. I know I saved it somewhere, but it might come up as private or no longer available. Who knows?
But in many ways, it'd be better if you don't see it.
Intellectual property. They own the intellectual property, and there's a way to look it up. That was the word I forgot. But okay, carry on.
I say, in many ways, it'd be good if you don't, because it's an analysis. So I'm hoping between now and after Christmas, we'll just watch the movies with a notepad ourselves, rather than going through YouTube and checking out other people's analysis of the movies.
Yeah, I already got like 98% of that movie memorized anyway, so I'm good to go. But I'm going to watch them again anyway.
Well, I am, because you see different things when you watch things fresh. You know, it's probably at least probably about a year since I've watched it, which is a short period of time when you think about it relatively, right? It came out in '99, so I shouldn't only have watched it a year ago, but I have. I like the movie; it's good. What do you want?
To be fair, I haven't done a good run of the whole series since I became a flat earther, so that I think would be interesting.
Let's not forget that the movie, The Matrix, is a movie that, by the Wachowski brothers, as they said, there is at least 400 levels to it. So you need to watch it many, many times to get this movie.
Yeah, that's just bullshit. That to me sounds like PR bullshit to say that this is a very shallow movie that has very few layers. But I'm going to tell you it's got loads, so you better go and rewatch it 5 times.
No.
I'm going to go on the hunt, guys, because now that I'm remembering some of the things that he said in the video, actually there's things in the video that, like I said, it's a slap in the face. So there's something to do with clocks. And the fact that the guy, oh yeah, that's what he said. In the report, what they claim is Neo's name or something, if you look close, that name on that report, that police report in one of the beginning scenes, his name is in it. I'm going to look it up that way and try to find him. So as you guys are watching the movie, I'm going to be digging through it too. So anybody that's interested, we're going to go on this little egg hunt.
That's so funny. I started watching these, the series of 3 on Saturday. So I started out with the first one. Second one I watched, I think, Monday, and last night I started Revolution. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, the last one's by far and away the worst.
There's a clock that seems to be in the wrong place. Well, one more interesting key that the guy brought up is there's a clock. And the thing about the clock is he says, well, you know, all of the hands are pretty much fixed, but for some reason, the hands are in a specific order, but the second counter is wrong. And the reason it's wrong because it's actually his birthday. So that's the stretch that he's talking about. And it's like all of these things, and it's like, I'm hype. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna shut up.
It's almost like this show is the Matrix review.
Yeah, that's Morpheus that just left.
Here we go. Is this going to lead into everyone deciding which character in the Matrix they are?
Who's Trinity?
Arwen.
I feel like
I was glad I had that one.
Well, I'm the deja vu cat.
Arwen.
You there, Arwen?
Well, the Wachowski
I'll be Sarah.
The Wachowski brothers are both now female, aren't they?
That's right.
I heard they both went through gender transition.
That's correct.
Like Brenda.
Yeah, Brenda's.
Yeah.
And the other one now as well?
Yeah, both
that
of them,
was
yeah.
unnecessary.
Wow. His brother must have told him it's nice.
I think the one brother did follow the other brother after the one transitioned. He also sort of followed in his footsteps, if you will. But this isn't particularly... Who cares?
Oh, I just didn't know that he followed as well.
You know what I love? And I don't know, maybe...
yeah, Wachowski sisters.
Maybe I'm stretching it a little bit or reaching, but I don't know when or well, maybe we should just save it. I don't want because when the Oracle is talking to you know what, we'll save it. Don't worry. Never mind.
No, see,
oh wow! Thanks for that, Chocolate. That was real deep.
Go on, because obviously, once we actually do it in a few weeks' time, your attitude may change. So it's worth having your opinion. Get what it is now. Go ahead.
Right. So I was just gonna say, like, when the Oracle is talking to Neo, and they're talking about right after he fights Seraph, and she's telling him that he's already made the choice, right? That now he's there to try to figure out why he's made that choice, right? And it's almost like, when we talk about potentiality and shit like that, like it's the potential's already there, right? But is the choice made by the person to make that potentiality real? Like, I don't know. Maybe
I think I get one.
Going nuts. You know what I mean?
Are you trying to link that to which path he takes?
Yes. Yes, exactly. I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know which you would not. You shut up.
Can I digress for a second?
I was going to say, are you sharing something, Paul?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I know I'm digressing back to Narnia, but this is from Voyage of the Dawn Trader. So I think it's the third book. I think third or fourth book. I can't remember exactly which one. But this chapter is the children are sailing, and they're sailing to try to find Aslan's country. And so they keep sailing, and of course this describes everything that's going on. But look what happens at some point during the journey. Whoops, did I miss it? Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. I think the highlight left, but let's see. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. And the children, they wade for a long time, holding hands and feeling very childish. Eventually, they come to a grassy plain. As they walk along the plain, they realize that they are the place where the sky actually meets the ground, like a blue wall. Narnia is a flat Earth realm. They sail to the end of the world where the sky meets the ground.
That's the horizon. So they're saying, in there.
No, this is a wall. It actually meets it. They call it a bright blue wall.
No, I appreciate that they're saying they have travelled to the horizon where the sky appears to meet the ground, but it does meet the ground in this example. Well, that's two things for us, isn't it? For us, that's the straw man we're told we must hold up in terms of the edge, the wall. You pop yourself on mute, Paul. That's right. That's the reified edge that we are held up in false dichotomy when they say, well, we've got our horizon, our edge of a ball, where the sky appears to meet the ground, and we are reifying to the edge of our ball, but it's also the edge that they're describing in this wall that they reach, i.e. the edge of some dome structure in Narnia. So it's kind of both, because the place they're travelling to is called where the sky meets the ground. But in our reality, that is the horizon, is it not? I know they're saying there's a wall there.
Yes.
Yes, I get it on that sense, but I'm just saying, I'm just making a point that I think C.S. Lewis Narnia was the flat Earth realm. That's all.
I agree. He knew more than he was letting on to, and it's there.
It's either that or like these writers, these authors, when they're making these pieces of work, when they're writing this stuff, it's like it's almost kind of like they have to put it on in a flat realm, because that's just what makes sense. If they're not putting it in there purposely, like, oh, I know it's flat, but I'm just gonna pretend. It's like they all make it seem that way, because that's our reality. That's the world we live in. We live in a flat realm. Right. It's
intuition knows when it looks off.
Yeah.
Well, earlier in the Voyage of the Dawn Trader too, he actually meets a star. The children meet a star that came down from the sky, and actually, I think the Prince Caspian actually takes the daughter of which is kind of interesting, but takes the daughter of the star and he becomes his wife, which is just real interesting. So just little nuggets throughout the whole book.
Very cool. Yeah, there's definitely more going on there when you're describing meeting the edge, the wall, and saying it's where the sky meets the ground. You know, there's many multiple layers in that, right, Paul? That's a good little catch.
Then it's like the layers in Inception, if anybody saw that movie.
Well, and in the book, the magician. I mean, I've listened to all these books a long time ago, but he even talks about science in a different way. Of course, Lily does her thing. Okay, Milky's sleepy. Okay, lay him down. But
you're still talking about Paul. You still talking about Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe?
No, there's multiple books. Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe is the first book. There's multiple books.
Lily, I'm trying to ask a question, Lily.
Yeah, stop rumpusing, Lily. Put your mute.
I think you'll find Paul was rumpusing
Now
Lily.
that we're talking about sorry, I was gonna talk about Narnia and the dome and us having to be on a flat plane and every other aspect, like building games and all this other stuff. But there's actually a channel, not a channel, but Instagram that Nathan Thompson posted up by Luber027, Luber027, and this guy's just been taking pictures of Antarctica. So never mind his belief, he might not realize that in some of his pictures, he might be showing more than he would even know. Like, for instance, one of the pictures shows how there seems to be some kind of arced, what do you call it? It looks like night and day, like I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's layered, it's not smooth, like when the sun just goes down. But anyway, there's a lot of interesting photos on that Instagram. It's Luber027. I'll post a couple of pictures in the Discord.
You're trying to say that it looks like it has some texture to it.
Echo.
Say that again, the one.
Is he trying to say that it looks like there is some texture to it?
We might get to see them. I don't know if he's going to post them. I don't know if somebody who's in the G+ can bring them up and screen share them from Discord. He's going to post a few of them. Let me know if you have, and I'll pop them up on screen.
I'll open them up.
Thanks.
I've analysed a little bit of Antarctica imagery, and I found in a lot of it that there was, it looked like it was reflected images of, like you could look at the ground and you could draw a line, and then you could see on one side of the line and on the other side of the line were like reflected images, and they were of like mountain passes and just satellite imagery from Antarctica.
I tell you one thing, there seems to be an awful lot more human activity at Antarctica than there is at the North Pole. I wonder what's going on there that makes everybody so interested.
Yeah, kind of interesting.
Oh, another thing, do you guys notice if you have an Android phone and you swipe from the home screen, you swipe it to the right, it goes to this Google screen with all of the news, and every day there's a new article about something that has been discovered about the universe. One of which that the magnetic north is moving towards Siberia, I think they claim.
Yeah, I have seen that. Well, I remember when I was in primary school, we got told about the crustal displacement theory, and we were told that in Reykjavik, in Iceland, there was the magnetic evidence that proves that there's been a couple of these over the last, I don't know, X amount of thousands of years. And what they were saying was back in 1985, 1986, when I was a kid, they were saying that it was due around about the year 2000. And I was like, that's miles away. And obviously being a kid at that point, nothing matters at the year 2000.
So Discord is claiming, Discord is claiming that the pictures that this guy is posting is cartoons. They're clearly not. Go to his Instagram.
Is anybody have you pasted any into the Discord?
Yeah, I posted 2 pictures. That's what they're commenting on now, saying that they're cartoons. It's obviously ridiculous.
Is anybody in G Plus capable of presenting what was posted in Discord?
Does this mean I've got to do it?
Yeah.
Anybody who volunteers?
Tony.
Oh, you have to wait a minute. I'm just killing everybody. Hang on. I can't leave the game at the minute. I'll die.
Oh,
come on! You were a kid 20 years ago.
I know. You have to wait a minute. I can't come out right this second. Bear with me.
Point retracted. He wasn't talking about the picture I posted.
Hang on, Arwin's in here. Why can't Arwin do it?
I'm not in Discord.
No, you're in G+.
Yeah, it's got to be in both to find the pictures and bring them up in. Anyway,
I'll do it in a minute. I'm sure Arwin could do it in my app.
Well, the easier thing would be if you have Instagram, you could just. Okay, go ahead.
I put him in Master B.
I just got it.
okay.
Right, present
Thank you,
Arwin.
Arwin. Right, they're up.
Arwin, speak so I can see.
Oh, hallelujah.
What are we looking at with this?
Blue and white and turquoise and.
Oh, we're looking at the gradient sky.
Yeah, that's what I'm. I mean, that's what I'm. Yeah, pretty much saying. Something's going on there. Seems could be something with the lens. I don't know.
Looks like a blue sky.
But he has a lot of interesting pictures on that account, and it's an open account, so.
I don't see anything wrong with that picture.
Nope, me neither.
I think it's the gradient sky. Do you ever see skies looking like a gradient?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plenty.
It looks like it's a filter, some sort of an Instagram filter where it's making it a lot more profound than it actually is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could just be a UV filter as well.
You're all wrong.
UV light.
Wave function.
We will have a quick game of observe and declare, and just have a little guess, shall we?
It's the hole in the ozone layer, guys. It's the hole in the ozone layer.
Hey, Al, you know when you said yesterday that you got all upset about the hole in the ozone layer bit? You do realize that we weren't arguing against you. We were just telling you what we were told as kids, right?
Yeah, that's how that started out. I know.
That's how it finished as well.
No.
Okay. Well, we weren't arguing against you. We were just telling you what we were told.
Okay. I was just trying to be technical, and look, I've never been told that it was a literal hole. They just named it a hole because then kids get it. They're not going to get, oh, but there's another gas that does something else. Then they presume kids' attention span go away. So they just call it the hole because then people can visualize it much easier. And it's not a hole. They never claimed it was a hole. It's just a replacement of the supposed ozone. Whether that's true or not, something entirely different.
They did
I pasted a picture of a book that I took a couple days ago at like an old ass library, where it showed there were actually this book was geared toward adults, and it literally talked about a hole.
That's
I was going to say they did call it a hole.
They did. I pasted it on Master B yesterday morning.
Yeah, I saw it, Yeah, it was claimed that it's closing as well.
Oh, there's more pictures. Right.
Do I need to display this, Arwin? Should I be displaying this? Well, I am now.
Cool. John put more photos up.
Same picture, isn't it? There we go.
Oh, not just.
Fascinating stuff.
Just pictures of snow and sky.
This looks pretty bizarre even. Look, it's almost like the light is dipping down, like there's a slight dent in the horizon. Probably because of optics and the lack of air clarity somehow being distorted or something. Looks weird.
What's the horizon again?
Anybody?
The apparent place where the sky meets the ground. But it looks like it's what is it? Slightly concave-ish over here.
Chevron.
Like
Why
a-
does the light? Why does the light from the sun seem to have an arc creating higher and higher and wider?
Nathan, when did you say this show was due to go out, roughly?
I don't actually know.
Before Christmas or after Christmas?
I don't know. Could be before, could be after. Lucky dip. Happy Christmas. Hope you've had a lovely Christmas if this is going out after Christmas. And, ooh, isn't it exciting if it's going out before?
Merry Christmas to Fight the Flat Earth.
Haha, Merry Christmas to Fight the Flat Earth.
Season's greetings retracted.
Yeah.
Bar humbug to Fight the Flat
Gotta
Earth.
get a charcoal.
Shout out refracted.
Bar humbug to Fight the Flat Earth.
That might be a good opportunity for me to start with an after show. So with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who tuned in on the Nathan Oakley 1980, get it right, stream, for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. If you are watching on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Another massive thank you to all of the Discord and G+ panels for making this special edition show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Oh, almost.
Almost.
Now but it's almost that good. Now I actually got a call from my healer. I don't know if you guys are gonna care if I'm even gonna try to explain it here. Let's just say a lifelong curse that was on me and that I've been trying to explain for like months now out in the open, almost in a desperate bid to try to overcome it, seems to have been released for the first time in my life since last Sunday. And I've actually been getting all the side effects of this. And the weird thing was, my dad had exactly the same thing. And when they figured it out, both were released.
What was the cause? Was it prayer? Did you get prayer?
No. It was a mechanical switch. It was done extra dimensionally at my birth with both my dad and me. I don't give a shit if you think this is funny or ridiculous or anything, because I'm unleashed now. I'm not gonna blow out anymore under pressure now. That's the difference.
We have an Arwen.
Remember what happened during the Amsterdam conference? I even said it like, no, I can't handle this pressure. I'm gonna break. And it kind of did. Well, that's not gonna happen anymore now, because my 7th chakra have just been unleashed for the first time in my life. And I somehow overcame it all my entire life and managed to have relatively normal function. And now it's unleashed. It's finally undone. I can finally be a freaking normal human being.
So now you're like Professor Hulk.
What?
Like Professor Hulk in Avengers, when he's like Bruce Banner and Hulk at the same time.
Oh, it's more like Gandalf the White. Because I feel like I got my 7th chakra now. Okay.
I only have 3. What are you babbling on about?
Spiritual spiritus.
Arwen has achieved his Super Saiyan power level.
Yeah.
Hey, chocolate.
I just went over 9,000. You better believe it.
There you go, bro.
Okay.
Don't worry, David. Don't worry.
I don't care if he believes it or not. People are gonna freaking find out. Big time. I've been waiting for this for 20 years.
Sounds pretty special. What is it exactly?
My 7th chakra, the purple one, has been locked my entire life, simultaneously with my dad, and it's just been unleashed for the first time in my entire life since last Sunday.
Did you just call it the purple one?
But what does that mean?
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
you're gonna have
What's
to
the
do your
observed phenomena?
I gotta explain it all. I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow. Trust me. So if you really want to know, just gonna have to watch the
Well, just
early bird.
briefly, what is this seventh chakra?
It's a purple one.
That's not very descriptive.
That's what he said.
Chakra is the crown chakra that is in between the 8th, the one above your head, and your sight, the blue one, and your forehead. And then you have the light blue one at your throat. And then you got the green one into your heart, the central chakra. And then you got the yellow one, your solar plexus. And then you got the orange one in your gut. And then you got the red one in your butt. And that's how the chakras are. They all have very correlating
In
energy.
your butt?
Well studied.
Sounds very new agey to me.
Yeah, this is
But if
this
you
is
d-
ancient
if
lore.
you
This is
don't-
ancient
if you
Hindu
don't-
lore.
I mean, do you meditate deeply? I mean, how do you know that you're even in touch with any of these?
Because of the natural energy flow that results from it and the mechanics that my conscious undergoes. It works different now. I respond differently to substances. I certainly started eating other things that I've never liked, never. And suddenly I crave for it. It didn't make any sense for me. A lot of things have changed since Sunday, and I responded differently to some types of alcohol. That's partially why I crashed so hard Sunday night, because it didn't respond normally to it. Because suddenly my 7th chakra was unleashed, and nobody actually told me until half an hour ago. My healer told me.
You have a healer?
Yeah, my healer, a person that's done that kind of stuff for over 60 years. It's probably the best freaking healer in the entire world.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is anybody else feeling like this is a completely different language? Or is it just me?
Yes, me.
I know what he's talking about.
I know you do.
Is this an intervention?
Read about this.
We'll find out shortly.
That sounds
Go ahead,
like all
Chocolate.
stuff.
Fill us in,
He's talking
Chocolate.
about
Translate
the
this.
chakras. His crown chakra just got opened, basically.
Unclamped. Like there was a spiritual mechanical clamp on there, like a curse. It's been there my entire life, and I somehow managed to reroute all my energy systems in order to accommodate for that, and still functioning, still having pretty damn good sight and all that. But now that's been unleashed. I got all the extra from the bypass and suddenly starting to function like a normal, proper human being that can actually handle stress.
So are you saying normal people have this chakra open all the time?
Well,
yeah,
in more or less fashions, but not a lot of people have this kind of clamp on it. Like it was completely shut, not just tight, not very strong, just shut. And it wasn't that apparent, apparently. Yeah, this is all very, very vague to you, I know. No, it's okay.
Well, that is
How
vague.
do you know that this teaching or this concepts that you're describing to us are true?
Because I could feel it.
The feelings are
No, that's me talking to my healer. And then he literally saying, okay, I'm doing now this and this and this and this. You feel something? And literally the way I see out of my eyes just changes.
I'm hearing the same thing again,
like
right?
Polarization has changed.
If everyone else is in agreement before this descends into us ridiculing Arwen through either knowledge or ignorance, either way, can we just draw a line under it and say, okay, fine, Arwen, good for you, and move on? Is that okay? Everybody?
Yeah,
well done,
that's
Arwen.
fair
Please
enough.
for you.
And you can.
I have a question
You don't
for
care
you, though.
about that shit? That's fine. That's
I have
fine.
a question, Arwen.
What is it?
Did you feel what he did before he told you that he did it?
Yeah.
Did you feel a change in yourself before he did that, or before you were told that he did that?
Many times.
Okay, cool.
Didn't hear his answer. Say again, Arwen.
But the switch. Yeah, but the crown chakra unleashing, nobody told me that. just everything changed. And I felt like, what the hell's going on here? Because I didn't recognize myself since last Sunday, even though I'm used to being quite all over the place mentally.
Right.
As well.
But how do you know it's not one of many other possible things?
Because of the results.
Arwen, do you know what the placebo effect is?
Yeah, it's not this one.
Oh,
you
God.
can't placebo this shit.
No,
I've
I'm
been
stopping it here.
struggling with this
No,
my
no,
entire
stop,
life.
stop. I can tell Anthony's going to start to ridicule from a position of knowledge. No, I just want to stop that right now. No, no.
I wasn't going to ridicule. I was going to ask, how does he know it's not?
Placebo. You think
How do
I'm
you know?
a fucking retard?
Anthony's
I'm
gonna
a
get his way,
healer.
isn't he?
I'm a healer, okay? I've done this shit for over 30 years.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. No.
I'm not
Stop.
ridiculous.
Stop.
Radio check.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Radio check.
Hello, QE. We can hear you.
Okay, we just wanted to confirm because a lot of people are talking in here and no one is recognizing them.
Can someone say something? No, I can't hear Elijah. Okay, I'll refresh.
I'm on mute.
See if we
I
get
think
audio
Ram's
chaos
quote
when
was
I
asking
rejoin.
questions.
See what happens. Hopefully there won't be total audio chaos. Can you say something, Elijah?
Hello, testing.
Yeah, that's better.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we hear you. Can you not hear me?
Yes.
Or as well?
Yes, you can hear him, or no, you can't.
No, I can hear
He
Nathan.
can't.
Cool.
No, I can.
Okay.
Excellent.
sorry.
It's okay.
So what I wanted to say to Arwen is I'm resonating with what Arwen's saying, because it could be correlated with, like, say, what do you call these things? Jumping bugs or whatever. I forget what you call them, but you put them in a jar and you have a lid on it. And so they can only jump as high as the lid. You take the lid off and they continue to only jump as high as they think the lid is, even though the lid is no longer there. So that would demonstrate that you could yourself be in some sort of mental block and you yourself can unlock it based on how you feel. Someone asking you the question of, well, what does that mean? You could never get that answer, because only the person knows how that feels.
That's a good...
It's all psychological nonetheless, isn't it?
No.
Well, we can test that. We can test whether that chakra is open. We can test Arwen and Anon chakra, see if they're open. Photons are particles.
Yeah, you're a stubborn fucking retard. It's never gonna end.
Do it.
You're never gonna end. You're gonna die on that hill, aren't you, Johnny boy?
Well,
Arwen,
it's okay, because I got a little bit of the obtuse quantum earlier, so let it go. It doesn't have to get that far.
He just failed.
I am gonna fucking end up like Anon if you keep up this shit. You're gonna diss me. Freaking straw man bullshit every single time this subject
Chakra,
comes
remember
up.
your chakra.
Dick.
A particle.
My chakra is fine. That's the whole point. I'm not tolerating
the fact that
this
you're
whole
reacting
shit
like
from you
this with
anymore.
so much anger and swearing
assholes.
just
And
shows
you
that
you
don't
have
have to
chakra.
Relax.
I'm not taking it anymore. Ever. You hear me, John? Nathan? I'll go along with your show, but I'm not taking this shit from you anymore, okay?
I said you gotta not get mad.
Sorry, what now?
This is not looking good for the chakra, though, man.
Yeah, man, this chakra business
This is a bad look for the chakra. You should just be like, all right, whatever.
No. Right, I've tried. This is the third time. Owen, hold on. Arwen, hold on a second, please.
I feel weaker.
Arwen.
I'm not weaker. I'm stronger.
Very
and
good.
I'm not going
Arwen, can you
to this
please,
bullshit
Arwen?
anymore.
Right, I've tried 3 times to draw a line under it. Now I've got ridicule from all sides. This is what I wanted to avoid by just saying, let's change the subject. But clearly, no. Everyone's determined to have a good laugh at your expense now. And I've tried to avoid it 3 bloody times. Let's just move on. Fine, good for you, Arwen.
He's just as triggered as ever. I mean...
No, he's not, and you're just trying to make him that way.
Some transformation.
Oh, God, I'm failing so badly here, aren't I? Look. Let's just leave this at this.
I have a
No more
definition for
talk of
evolution.
Arwen chakras, please, please. It's supposed to be a Christmas special.
What's your vector, Victor?
I have a definition.
A definition of chakras.
No, a definition.
A definition of what?
Breaking up.
Evolution, he said.
Ooh,
Oh, can you
thank
hear
God.
me?
Yeah, you've got a definition of evolution. Go ahead.
I think it is a concept which justifies the horrible treatment.
Can we talk about chakras again?
Yeah.
We can't make out what you're saying, my friend. John, try again.
Evolution is a concept that was created to justify doing horrible things to people. You know, like slavery. Well, what not slavery, but you know,
Survival of the fittest kind of thing.
Okay,
Why is your mic so shit?
I don't know, but what I got from that was evolution is something that's designed to enable people to be terrible to other people.
I think he's trying.
yeah.
Excellent.
Refresh and come back, please.
Yeah, regardless of the utilization of something that's undefined, its utilization doesn't become the definition. So that isn't really a definition of what evolution is. It still leaves you in the same place with the same response. What's evolution? And, well, something that I'm going to utilize to be terrible to someone else. Well, no, that's just an excuse with something that's undefined.
True.
People have done
Another
terrible
Jesuit
things
made-up
to each
nonsense.
other in the name of God.
Exactly, it's just an excuse. So, using God, using evolution, an excuse. But it definitely doesn't define what it is. That's the point.
Don't blame the
Pertinent-
recipe for the burnt cake.
The pertinent question that gets whistled by when QE says it every time. What's evolution? In other words, let's define this thing that we're going to now appeal to with an example when we haven't got a specific definition of what it actually is. What the hell is it? What are we talking about?
I just wanted to change the subject.
It was perfect, John. Thank you.
Cool name.
I'm also ex-military, John.
My condolences.
So we've got two Johns that are both ex-military.
Wow. We have an army.
No, two's bad enough.
Nah, well, I was 13 Mike artillery.
I was Air Force.
Oh, therefore, so listen. I got a question for artillery guys. Hang on, I got a question for him since he's artillery. I actually went online and tried to ask some artillery guys online about accounting for the Coriolis effect. Did you ever account for the Coriolis effect in your firing of artillery?
Paul, your mic's crap.
Can you refresh or something, Paul? You're just distorting. But the question came through, fortunately. But if you can refresh in the meantime. Did you ever account for the Coriolis effect, John?
Well, with the firing schemes and stuff like that, most of it was done by computers when I was in. I don't think so, though. I never.
Yeah, but you always had that failsafe. You always had to know how to do it manually, correct?
Yeah, we had to find like if we overshot or something like that, we had to find where it landed. So I never accounted for curvature or anything like that. We just had like a map. We figured it from that.
May I paraphrase the question? Given that the Coriolis effect is a not actual deviation, was there ever a requirement to account for this not actual deviation when shooting at stuff?
No, that's just silly. I don't know why they keep saying that.
Thank you. Yes, just silly to ask if you would need to account for a not actual deviation. No, you wouldn't. But if Earth was rotating underneath your gun, you'd damn well know about it, and you'd definitely be accounting for it, would you not? If it happened, that is.
Well, yeah, that I never really thought about it back then, but yeah, we didn't have.
By example,
like that.
If you're travelling along in a relatively fast moving vehicle like a tank, and firing at the same time, because you're moving in relation to your target, you would have to factor in that movement. And likewise, if you were moving on a rotating platform, you would also need to account for that. But you don't. But the question that's phrased to you is, do you account for a not actual deviation? Well, no, I don't need to account for it. It's not actual. But Earth would be rotating underneath to generate a not actual deviation of Coriolis effect, and we definitely don't account for Earth rotating underneath anything, because it doesn't.
Real quick, is that better?
Yeah, that's a pretty good summary.
Yes, Paul, that's better.
Very quickly, I'm getting some feedback from someone. Is it me? Very quickly, I want to show you how Coriolis would actually look if there was the thing like the spinning of the Earth, because there is a video of that. If you can we play like 3 seconds of it?
Yeah, share screen. As long as it isn't.
No, I just thought of it. I'll just Google it, and when I'm ready, I'll screen share.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, while he's doing that, so far now we've got snipers don't account for it, tank operators don't account for it, artillery people don't account for it, right? And planes don't account for it, and balloons don't account for it, and drones don't account for it. So just to be clear.
Don't forget migrating birds.
I have to back John up on the manuals too. Everything you learn in the military, you learn from the people above you that's in place. You don't. I don't think I ever opened my fucking book.
Told you. What did I tell you guys about opening them FMs? They don't do it. Thought I was lying, huh? Oh, Zanuck is in here. Zanuck, where's my 2 G's?
No, have you come on. We've got an artillery guy that says he doesn't use that chart. Come on, Zanuck, share your pain.
No, not with the chart. He owes me $2 grand.
No. And before I disappear underground on the train, actually, he's asserting your position of what entropy is, which is why he won the argument. Get some clearance from him.
Your mic is crap, man. I just want my 2 G's. We don't need any clarity. We already been down the road. Give me my damn money.
No, he won't come on.
I have a question about the conservation of momentum.
Shoot.
Like, if you're on a roundabout, merry-go-round, whatever you want to call it, and you shoot a fast-moving like bullet at a target, you're not going to have much Coriolis. But if you like throw a ball, you'll be able to see it. Wouldn't Coriolis, like the faster you're moving, the less Coriolis you would see?
Quantitatively, you can have more or less deviation, or not actual deviation from your vantage point. If you've got something that's in the air for a very limited amount of time, you're not going to see much deviation because it's not in the air for very long. And equally, if you just toss a ball very slowly up and down, it might be that the amount of hang time you've got in that ball, if you throw it high enough, could give you an entire rotation of the roundabout. Therefore, you could say, quantitatively, you see a lot of deviation, not actual deviation, I might add, from your vantage point on the spinning roundabout. So yeah, but the point here is that regardless of which example, there is Coriolis effect in both examples.
Right, but what I'm saying though is, if their point about conservation of angular momentum, wouldn't the bullet be curving as it left the roundabout to hit the target?
That would be an actual deviation. That's
only Angelina Jolie can do that.
Yeah, I don't believe that happens, but I mean, that's kind of what they're saying when they say conservation of momentum, isn't it?
I suppose so. And as Quantum Erasers just very comedically but correctly pointed out, do we see actual curving bullets?
No, that's...
Yes. So is it retaining the velocity of the turning roundabout after it leaves the non-inertial spinning reference frame? Or would you say that it is now independent, immediately independent of the roundabout once it leaves the gun?
Well, why don't you ask him specific about his job? Because if he did the target deviate underneath of your artillery shell?
I would almost say it's probably a false equivalence, because in Wanted, they're actually purposely curving those bullets, and it's not happening because of the rotation of the Earth. Just saying.
Well, I wasn't 13 Bravo. I wasn't a howitzer. I was 13 Mike, multiple launch rocket systems. But the spin of the bullet's going to affect the flight of the bullet, isn't it?
Yeah, the spin of the bullet is, but what we're saying is, your question was in regards to the retention of velocity of the roundabout. It's leaving. And just by saying the word leaving, that by implication means that it's left the frame of reference that's spinning. So upon leaving the non-inertial spinning reference frame, would you say that it's still being affected by the rotational reference frame, i.e. it's retained velocity of the spinning reference frame? Or has it left it?
Merry Christmas.
It seems to have left it.
To simplify the question, when you fire the gun, does it leave the roundabout or not?
Yeah.
There was two answers. You had to pick one. So yes, won't do it. Does it leave does the gun leave the roundabout, or does it stay with some of the velocity of the roundabout when you fire it? Which one of those two do you think is true?
It leaves the roundabout.
So if it leaves the roundabout, it's not retaining the velocity of the roundabout. So it's not retaining angular velocity then.
You're talking about the bullet or the gun?
The bullet.
Yeah, because you said gun, and he said
the projectile.
The gun leaves the roundabout.
If I said the gun leaves the roundabout, I'm not implying that literally the guy's going to chuck the gun off the roundabout. I mean, he's firing it. I'm just wrong in my phraseology. I'm sorry.
Apology
accepted. But what I'm saying about the other guy, the people, the globe people that come on here and use the argument for angular velocity, it's the same as saying that once you fire the gun, that bullet continues to move in the same angular velocity as the roundabout, instead of, just going straight and hitting the target.
So no Coriolis then.
Sorry to interrupt. When you guys are done, I found something. Continue.
Yeah, I have to get back to my wife.
Matrix-related news. You're correct, John. The baller argument is to say that the projectile leaves a spinning non-inertial reference frame, but in fact retains the velocity of the non-inertial reference frame upon leaving it. It's absurd, and they call that the retention of angular velocity, or something, words to that effect. It's a preposterous notion.
Conservation of momentum.
Conservation of momentum, my bad. In this context,
what is that? Has anyone even defined it? It appears that it's self-defined, right? But appearances don't always, or not always actual, in other words, right? So why doesn't somebody define the conservation of momentum? To get pedantic.
Would that be dependent on whether it has a strong intermolecular bond?
Sorry, does the bullet that leaves the gun on your spinning roundabout have a strong molecular bond with that roundabout or not?
Definitely not.
Or has it left it and gone? No bond anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty much my position on it too. But I gotta go, guys. It's nice talking to y'all.
Was the bullet bonded to the gun in the first place?
No, but yes.
No, but yes.
It was in the reference frame on the spinning roundabout until it left when it was fired. So yeah, it was part of that spinning reference frame and absolutely being affected by it until it left the gun. And then does it retain the spinning reference frame's momentum? No, it doesn't. That's absurd. It's left it.
Sorry, I was focused on the bonded part.
It's
I got
akin
a
to
bad
saying,
echo too.
Let's give a different example. You got a drone on a roundabout. You push the up stick. The question is, does the drone continue to float above the exact spot it took off from on a spinning roundabout? So you mark a little X with tape, you stick your drone on it, and then you make it hover. Does it hover above the X? Well, no, of course it doesn't. It goes into the air and the roundabout spins underneath it. But the assertion of this retention is that it continues to hover above the X because it's retained the velocity of the roundabout. Well, it's just absurd. It's left the roundabout, therefore it's not spinning anymore. So the X will go round and round underneath it.
But it hasn't left the reference frame because you could still see it, even though you see it deviating, apparently. But it still hasn't left the reference frame.
Yeah, it does. That's why it's deviating.
Okay,
to deviate, it's got to leave.
If we're all
That's
in
the bottom
agreement,
line.
I have an update.
Okay, go ahead, Elijah. Thank you, John, by the way.
So Christmas just came early, guys. I found that video in my conspiracy folder on YouTube. And so the claimed author is Tom Althouse. And the title of the video is Matrix author Tom Althouse, A-L-T House, reveals ripoff. Pot Talk with Joe Barton is the name of the show, I guess. Joe Friendly is his YouTube name.
Did anyone stick that in Master B?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm going to post it in the chat.
So someone's going to post it in live stream. If someone in live stream can post it in Skype and just share this video so we can have a look at it.
I will.
Don't let it poison you. Still watch the 3 movies. Try not to let the analysis poison you if there is any analysis of the movie.
I'm ready with the Coriolis video. I found it finally.
Okay, you want me to put you on?
Oh, just a second.
Let me know when you're ready.
Let me just unmute myself first. Stop the audio. Can everybody see that?
Yeah, now they can.
Yeah, I'll just play like 4 seconds.
Okay.
I think it will be clear enough for if we were living on a spinning ball, how it should look like. So this is done by tracking a skydiving formation via a helicopter Steadicam. So I'm playing it now. See, they're falling down, but everything behind them is moving 45 degrees in relation to them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. If they're in a separate reference frame and the ground spinning beneath them, then it's going to be moving away from them at the rate that you're kind of alluding to. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It will look something similar to this.
Gotcha. Might as well give the videographer credit. So it's Joe. What was the name of the videographer? Joe Jennings.
Joe Jennings. Well, he's probably in a helicopter, and they have this camera like the helicopters that do the news. Those huge cameras on the front.
Cool. Thank you very much.
I can post that in Master B just as a reference if anybody wants to use it.
Sure, feel free. But more critically, did someone gather up that link from Discord and stick it in Master B?
I did. I got it.
And also to add to what you said about there being analysis, if there is any, there.
Cut off. I hate push to talk. You'll have your finger on it and it'll just cut off for no reason.
Oh, I was saying that there's definitely loads of analysis, because he's basically making the case that his script was ripped, and the reason that the trilogy and Animatrix doesn't make sense is because they tried to change the core point of him. And it all you guys got to see it for yourself.
Well, yeah, we'll have a look.
Because the fact that when I'm looking up the actual thing that I find from Google, when I'm like ripped off Matrix script ripped off, I can literally see why they threw that in front of this guy's explanation, because it leads nowhere. But anyway, that's for anybody that wants to go down the rabbit hole.
So we get the link in Master B?
Yeah, it should be. I think Paul's sorting it out.
Paul. Oh yeah, thanks, Paul.
But more importantly, hopefully we'll all watch The Matrix, all three of them, and then dissect them after Christmas.
I'm going to download it right now and upload it to BitChute just in case they decide to get rid of that video.
Oh yeah, great.
I love how you automatically assume it's credible, having not even watched it yet.
It doesn't take that much effort to download it.
No, I know, but you'd republish it even if it's complete lies.
Maybe not. I'm gonna watch it first, but I'm gonna definitely download it.
Fair enough. That's the disclaimer I needed.
Yep.
Well, basically, Terminator and the Matrix, like the Animatrix, it's like the prequel to the Matrix, and it's basically the plot of the Terminator movies. It's so similar.
That's why the Google quote-unquote lawsuit is the red. Like what you did right there is why that Google link is so readily available by the Stewart. That's exactly why.
But if that's the claim, that's quite interesting.
Because if you watch the video that I posted,
I was just going to say that's quite interesting because there's this crossover with Terminator, and there's a preceding claim that Terminator ripped off a story by a writer of The Outer Limits, was it? Or the Twilight Zone. So there's a Twilight Zone episode about, well, it's basically the plot of the Terminator. So yeah, there's a.
But
go on.
That's assuming that the Matrix story is correct and not stolen in the. But if the ripoff is from a fake, then it can't really be said that that is actually a ripoff in the first.
Indeed.
Yeah, but the fix to that is just to say it's been taken from a bunch of different sources, right? One book here, a little piece there. That's how they'll fix it, right? Because that's what I remember hearing when I first heard about the movie.
Yeah, the guy is claiming. Well, that's why I think that the supposed lawsuit is important too, because when he makes reference to certain things in the movie, certain information that he gives, yeah, they're like really, in my opinion, because I want it to be a conspiracy, strong correlation. But on top of that, the story, like the fact that there's this media push to throw this lawsuit out in front of what this guy is actually saying seems really interesting, because it makes you think about something else and not the actual claim that the script was totally thrown on its head. The whole point was more from a biblical standpoint than from what they tried to make it. Neo isn't actually supposed to be the one. I think what he said was, you realize that the one is Jesus, the light of the world, or something like that. And that's why it's fundamental.
This is really weird. It won't let me download it. I can download any other YouTube video, but this one, it gives me an error, which says video is unavailable, even though I can see it.
Hey ho, share the link. That's the only thing to do.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of extrapolations you could take from the end of Matrix to, the story of Jesus and all that, right? Because, he had to sacrifice himself for Zion and all that. I mean, there are, even when he was being absorbed back into the Matrix. Go ahead, man.
That's true. That's why I said, yeah, there are correlations, but then there are things like him pointing out the fact that if you look at that document that they throw on the table when he's in the interrogation room, you look at it and it says the guy's maiden. So it's like, what's the excuse for that? Also, the pointing out when you look at the clock on, I think it was the wall, the second hand is in a weird position that a normal clock wouldn't be, and that would happen to be his birthday if he's telling the truth about what his birthday is. So he's trying really hard to give as much evidence as he possibly can.
Do you mean Neo's name, Thomas Anderson? Is that what name you're talking about? Hello?
I might, because his name, what is his name? Tom Althouse. And I think he said his name. Oh,
Neo's
no, but he also says, well, he has a maiden name, and he has, well, obviously he presents proof of how his name was actually his name. But I got to watch it again to see what he specifically said. But it's a lot of interesting.
Yeah, I
didn't get that. With what's the disturbing thing about the clock, that arrow, it's not where it's supposed to be.
Right, that's what I'm saying. These are little clues that, what's that about?
No. I mean, what does that mean, that an arrow is not where it's supposed to be? How can that be awkward?
Well, if you have it, I gotta watch it again, because it's supposed to be that if you have
the hour clock, maybe I
gotta watch it again
almost, but then the minute arrow may be in a different place, so it's not according to the distance between 12 and 1, something to that effect.
Am I mistaken? Was there not a 9/11 somewhere in his ID too? Something like that, or am I mistaken? Yeah, you probably know better than me.
I'm not really sure.
Wow, that's vague. It might be something. I
remember hearing something.
I watched it literally when it dropped, which was last year sometime, around this time. I think.
Aren't they two different things, though? One is a supposedly stolen script and storyline, and the other one is actual movie production. Just don't get the two of them confused, right?
Well, that's the thing. If they, that's the point he's trying to make about them buying the intellectual property of the name itself, thus some screenplay type scenario. But that's how they get around them having stolen his script. That's his argument. I mean, whether, I don't know I mean, what you guys think about that being true or not, but it is his argument, and I'm like, yeah, that is weird. To have the intellectual property of something, a movie that wasn't even invented yet. So that's another point.
I think the movie was perfect as it was, all three of them.
Yeah, Neo's license expires September 11th, 2001.
Yeah, I remember now. That was the case. Seen that a long time ago.
What a coinky dink, huh?
Coinky dink. I thought I saw a pussycat. When Tweet is drunk.
Suffering succotash.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If I had to be one character from the Matrix, I'd be the black cat that runs across the.
Are you racist?
Technically not a character, though.
That's my other shit too with deja vu. Like, it's always been a weird thing to me, the feeling of deja vu. So I loved when they threw that in there, like a deja vu was a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Because I've had dreams where I've had
have
deja
you-
vu where I start remembering that I dreamed the shit that I'm living at that moment, and it's insane. Such a crazy feeling.
Just to add, I had deja vu where.
Have you seen any Google or YouTubes about what they say it is? Because that's the weirdest thing. Because you know that it can't be.
Did you ever have a dream within a dream?
No, I don't think so. Not
That'll
from memory.
collapse
Never
your
had
chakra.
that, no.
So what,
That'll collapse the chakra.
Y'all need to fix your purple chakra.
Yeah, I used to look up all of this stuff all the time, and I realized no one had
Fantastic
answers.
show, boys.
Oh, now we got Mr. Junk DNA in.
Merry Christmas, John.
Sound like Brenda.
But what
Hey,
they
John,
say
I
about what they say that it actually is, which I think is a total bullshit, is the fact that your eye receives information faster than you actually can compute it. So you see something before your brain actually sees it. So when you actually interpret it, you're like, I've seen this before.
Nonsense.
But it's really just
That's
a delay.
freaking hilarious. Are you
in
kidding?
the
That's an
information
explanation for
from your
deja vu?
eye. Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Just
That's
say you
exactly
don't
what they
know.
say it is,
Why
though.
can't they just say we don't know?
I had a dream within a dream, but it was only at the inception.
I had deja vu where when I have the deja vu, I actually know like 2 to 3 to 5 seconds what will happen. Like, it's very awkward.
But did you ever get to a point where you think, all right, I'm going to try to change it somehow, right? Because you recognize you're in the middle of it, and then you say, all right, I'm going to do something different. But then when you do that different thing, you realize you did that in the dream or in the deja vu before. Like, it's insane feeling, man.
I
don't know how to explain that shit.
I agree. I felt exactly that too.
Shut up. The last time when I thought about
Because
that,
that's where it's like longer. It's like longer than 5 seconds when you're like, hold up,
when someone's
is this a
speaking,
deja vu? And then you're like, you think it's over, but then it's like you do something again. You're like, holy shit, it's still happening.
I just had deja vu because I'm hearing people speak over each other again.
that man's killing it.
I'm pretty sure I have
Finish
seen.
your point, Dan.
I was going to say,
Yeah, the last time when I had deja vu and I thought about that, maybe when you know what's gonna happen, you can change it. That was the last time I had a deja vu, and since then I never had one. And I used to have like lots.
I have seen explanations for deja vu, as in it's just a brain processing issue. It's almost like it's being dedicated to memory prior to the processing of it. So you recognize it as though it's a memory, even though it's something that's happening in real time. So there is explanations out there for why deja vu occurs.
No. But then, how do you explain that you know what's gonna happen in the next few seconds?
Didn't I just say that? So the thing hasn't actually. It's because you've got it as part of your memory before you've actually processed what's occurring. Therefore, it seems like it's already happened. Well, it hasn't. You just haven't processed it mentally yet.
That's like kind of how I explained it.
Doesn't make sense to what I'm saying.
Nah, that's a little, like John's word, a little squirrely to me.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying there are explanations out there.
No, I get you, Nathan. I get you.
No,
essentially what is happening is your eyes are seeing. So basically, it's like refraction. You're seeing something before it happens.
It's super looming.
It's gravitational super looming.
God, this is terrible.
What are you eating?
Adam, did you turn into Amanda?
Personal attack, fantastic.
You always sound constipated.
Another one, superb.
Did you ask Alan if he turned into Amanda?
Yeah.
Because when he first came in, he had a high-pitched voice like a female, but now he sounds like a man there.
He got rid of the junk DNA. I think Adam just got rid of the junk DNA.
Did Alan ever figure out how we get information and where it comes from?
Nope.
We were hoping for a lot more comedic value out of you, Alan. / Jeff.
It's coming close to Christmas, though. I think I've done too many mince pies, Nathan, to be honest. You looking forward to Christmas?
Yeah, Christmas is ace when you've got kids. It's a lot of fun.
Yep. Buying them presents that you really want?
Monkey business isn't my kind of thing, but so no.
I'm not sure.
No, I'm not into Paw Patrol, I promise.
It's funny, 2 years ago, I was single, so I didn't give a shit about Christmas or any other holidays for that matter. And now coming on January 1st will represent the second year.
Hey, Elijah, you need to get a new mic, dude.
Too much wind noise.
Your mic, it's bad.
Too much wind noise. Wherever you are is too noisy.
He's probably on a bike, travelling.
Dropping out. Have a good one, boys. Cheers.
See you later, dude.
See you later, guys.
All right, Neo.
Anybody got any New Year's resolutions planned?
I resolve to not have any New Year's resolutions.
Be nice for someone to resolve that they'll demonstrate gravity for us.
Or gas rush without a container for 2020. That'd be nice.
Johnny, see Sean Ufford's been doing videos for you.
Has he? What's he done? Oh, Moonlight. Has he done it? Has he done his Moonlight test?
Yeah.
And what was the conclusion?
That you're wrong, he says.
That's not really the conclusion summary we were hoping for. Is it
Did
a
the
revised version of the building test? Is it a revised version of the building test, or is it the one with buildings?
No, he's supposed to be telling us whether Moonlight's warm.
Alan? Did you ignore all the information in the video and just listen to the bit where he says, and therefore Anthony's wrong, and that's the only bit you can remember?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out. Cutting out. Sorry.
I said, can you give us any more detail on the video? For a start, is it the updated video, or is it the one where he takes the ambient temperatures of buildings that are giving off heat?
Oh no, Tony's done a reply already. I've not watched that.
I haven't. What are you talking about, Alan?
He could be playing with the time dilation issue of this being a pre-record.
He must be. I haven't seen a video of Sean's yet.
Hold on, let me get a link.
Perfect.
Wasn't that Crayon Muncher supposed to give a video with him and Geo Knucklehead?
No, it was meant to be given a video of Soundly in a hangout with somebody. I can't even remember what it was now, but that never materialised.
I do. I remember.
Yeah.
Let's recite that. So Soundly's in the ear of GeoStreber while you're talking about, I don't know, it doesn't matter the subject, probably gravity or P waves and S waves or something like that. And he's whispering in his ear, giving him advice on what to ask you next. Now, he denied outright that he was being fed information, this is GeoStreber, by Soundly, and said that in fact it was Anthony listening to a hangout and you could just hear it in the background of Anthony's mic. So then this was passed to an audio data analyst who's basically taken both tracks and said this is the audio range that each mic is capable of delivering. And the audio range that Soundly's being delivered in is 100% certainly coming from GeoStreber's mic, making him a, what's the term? Lion sack of shit, as is Soundly.
I don't think
the Geo Whisperer.
I don't think that's the technical term, but it's close enough. Lion sack of shit is close enough.
Yeah, well, and Sean said that he was going to give that video. Elijah, hold on. And Soundly said, not Soundly, jeez, oh man. Sean Hufford, we were in contact with him. He goes, I will have that to you in the next 3 days. That was over a year and a half ago. Where's the video, Sean? It's stuck in your bra?
Clown. I noticed he's been very silent recently. He's kept
I also wanted to point out that I thought that Zanuck had a date with Quantum on Monday. I don't think that ever materialized. What was he supposed to bring? Some secondhand information from a physicist?
No, $2,000.
No, I think he was talking about a non-force giving rise to a force.
Huh. That got smashed a while ago when Zanuck was asked to bring that
he
citation.
Said he was going to go get some proof from somebody and he would bring it on Monday.
Monday 6 months ago. That shit got smashed already, bro. Zanuck is done with that.
Monday 2 days ago.
Worth giving a quick summary.
QE, look what I posted in live stream. Look what I posted at Zanuck. QE, look what I posted at him.
You on the case, no. QE?
I don't see what did you post in live stream?
Oh, I said Zanuck should resolve to pay QE because he was telling me I should resolve to learn pressure and Coriolis and all that fun stuff. It was funny. I just thought I'd say he should resolve to pay you.
He's not a man of his word, man. So he can't be trusted. Of course, we already knew that. I told you a long time ago he had the intellectual honesty of Milli Vanilli. Remember? Blame it on the rain. Yeah. Remember that?
There's a whole bunch of them. Zanuck can't be trusted.
Why don't he just come in and explain why he doesn't owe you any money?
There is no explanation.
There is an explanation.
Oh God. There he is.
But I'll just be muted, so what's the point, right?
Yeah, because you're a liar.
I'm not a liar at all. I've told you exactly the honest.
Yeah, witnesses. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your shit.
See, there you go, everybody. He doesn't want to hear it. So why bother?
Goodbye.
Blame it on the rain.
Zanik, how are you still copping
Even though,
pleas, bro? You lost the
we
bet.
were witness
Fair
to
and-
what happened, that it didn't go particularly how it went. So it'd be funny to hear him, argue his way out of the bag once and for all.
That's up to Quantum Eraser.
Yeah, where is Zanik? Is he here or not?
Yeah, he's here.
Huey probably muted him.
He's one of a list of many. Soundly can't be trusted. He lied through his back teeth about coaching GeoStreamer. Sean Hufford can't be trusted. He backed their lie and claimed he could go out and find what was the video about he said he could actually find? I can't even remember that bit. Video of you playing Soundly in the background or something like that.
He didn't have an audio technical expert of some kind that he...
Audio guy.
Yeah. And he said that
Audio guy.
And he said that he was going to prove that it came from my microphone. And I was like, really? Do you know what? I actually can't remember where it finished. I can't remember what the conclusion
No,
of the
I know
was.
where it finished. It finished with GeoStreamer being demonstrated quite admirably by an actual sound engineer that he was being coached by Soundly. That's why the question that Soundly asked was in direct relation to your last statement, and it came through a mic that was deemed to be of a frequency response only of GeoStreamer's frequency response. Therefore, he was being coached by Soundly, said he wasn't, he lied about it, he doubled down on the lie and got Sean Hufford to come in on the lie and say that he was going to get audio analysis to prove his innocence, when he wasn't innocent at all. He was being coached by a liar, Soundly, making GeoStreamer an outright liar, and making Sean Hufford complicit and assisting in this outright outrageous lie. They're all liars, just like Zanik and the Rumpus, who's supposed to have produced ray tracing when begging the question of a globe model for St. Bees. And other than going on Ranty Show and saying that it's flat, there's no... they don't actually produce what they're going to say. They're all liars.
They're all fucking liars.
Go back to the definition he cites too. Remember that, right?
Yeah, go back to the definition he cites too.
Yeah, the instructions being given to GeoStreamer by Soundly. That's what is being recited verbatim. What was recorded of Soundly's instructions to GeoStreamer in response to what Anthony had said. Go back to the citation he cites.
I still have that all that sound.
Is that right?
Hmm.
Well, maybe we'll have to bring it up again. In the meantime, I'll say everyone's going to have to look forward to the Matrix episode. I'm really looking forward to it, I've got to be honest. Means everyone's got homework. Matrix. You'll be the most interesting opinion because you've not seen it, right, Anthony?
Yeah, I've never watched The Matrix, no.
Yeah, watch all 3 over Christmas and we'll do a special on it. With that, I'll say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Again, another massive thank you to today's Discord and G+ panels for making this special edition after show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Have a Merry Christmas and New Year, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!